Right, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be setting up Windows Server 2019 as an Active Directory domain server and setting up trust. So first things first, we will have to have our Windows Server operational. Then we will need to go and add a new feature. These here are a little straightforward. You can read through all of these to have a clear understanding of what is going on, but we just press next here. Make sure the first one is selected, then press next again. Right, and this is where we have to make sure the server is selected. So we're making sure that the first option is selected and the server is selected. Then press next. There we go. And we're going to check the Active Directory domain services. You're going to click add features. We're also going to check the DNS server, add features. You're going to check the DHCP. No, we're not doing that one this episode. From there, just make sure the two .NET frameworks are installed, the group policy is checked, and you press next. Now here's just a little explanation of what the Active Directory domain services are. You just press next. You can also read it if you would like. And this is a confirmation on all the stuff that we're going to install. And once you're satisfied with everything that you have seen, then we just go and press install and everything will do what it needs to do. So here we have started the installation. This one might take a little while, and once it's finished, then we may proceed. Right, now that it is finished, you press close and you will see a little flag with a yellow icon on top. We're going to click that and we have to promote this server to a domain controller. So we are clicking that, and here we are going to add a new forest, and this is where we're going to set the root domain name. This you can name it whatever you like, but for the sake of this video I'm just going to put my name. And here we have brendan.com. Once you are satisfied with the domain name you want, you press next and it will start to apply the settings for the root domain name. This here might take a little while as it's trying to set up the actual domain information. This domain information we will be using for all the future videos that we're going to do, so this is the groundwork for it. Now here is the little domain controllers options that we need to do. And we will be able to see about all these different things once it's finished installing and once it's finished doing what it needs to do. Right, now that it's finished, we will need to input a secure password. Now again, the same rule applies from previous episode. Make sure the password is strong, common, capital, numbers, symbols. From there, press next, and then we press next again. And here for the NetBIOS domain name, you can put any name. As you can see, it automatically put my name in all caps, so we'll leave it like that, and we press next. And we press next again. We don't need to interfere with anything there. And here is just a little review of all the stuff that we have done so far. Once you've seen everything you've done and everything it looks up to mark and everything is good, then we just continue, press next, and now it's going to check to see if everything will work and everything is up to par. Right, so now that you have seen everything has been passed successfully, now we're going to actually install everything. Right, so once everything is installed, you will be prompted to sign out. Just press close. You can exit off everything else and the entire system will do a reboot by itself. And once the system is rebooted, you will input the credentials, the password and username that you have set while setting up the Active Directory. So once the system is up, you input the password that you have previously set for the Active Directory domain, and here we go. So from here, we're going back to the Open Network. We're clicking on Ethernet, and we're going to change advanced sharing, and you realize it turned back off. Just going to turn back on, and as I mentioned before in previous episodes, I'll mention it again here, is that once the system restarts, or the VM restarts, or you take it off, a lot of these settings like these will change. So you just have to make sure that it is, for fully operational. Now, when you try to go into the actual adapter options, don't get worried if you get that message. There are other ways around. You could just go to the actual sharing, and the adapter options will be there, and you will get through. We're going back to the IPv4 just to make sure everything is good and up to par, and we realize that the default gateway is missing again. So you just input it, and it's the same as the IP address above. Once you've done that, you press OK and exit off everything there. Now we're moving on to the client side of things. We're going to the file manager, this PC, going to properties, and we're going to realize that the work group is still work group. So we click change settings and click change again. Now you can change the desktop to whatever you like. For the purpose of this tutorial, I've named it Brendan's PC. And then we're going to click member of domain, and we're going to put the exact domain that we had before, which will be brendan.com in this case. Once we've done that, we press OK, and then we have to input the permissions which we set, which was the username and the password. In this case, the username for mine was administrator, and I'm going back to the server just to double check. I was checking the computer name, but it's actually the name of the account, which is administrator. So we have input in administrator and the password that we have set for that account, and then press OK, and it will do its welcome to Brendan.com domain, and this message will show you that you have successfully joined the client PC to the domain of the server. If you get this message, that's okay, that it's not going to affect anything at the moment. So now that you have changed all this, you need to restart in order for the change to apply, and that's what we're going to do right now. Now we are back onto the client server, and we're going to the file manager. As you can see that the network discovery is off. As I said before, when you restart, these things will turn off. So we'll go back to the change advanced sessions settings and just turn them back on and save changes. From there, you will see that this folder is empty for the network, and if you go on properties while in the file there, you will see that you're connected to the domain brendan.com in this instance. Right, now we are back to the server machine, and we are now going to set up the trust for the two clients. So we're going to open the network and network settings, go to change sharing, and make sure everything is on. Click save changes, and you realize it's back off again. So the solve for this, if you are getting this problem here, we have to go and make sure that the IPv4 everything is set up, the default gateway is not there, so we're going to input it back again. I know this becomes a little redundant and whatnot, but these things are needed for the actual system to run. And then you put it back on. If we save changes and we check it again, it's off again. So we're going to the task manager, we're going to services, we're going to click open services, we're going to look for the SSDP discovery. If you realize it's defaulted back to disabled, so we have to put it back to automatic and start it, and then press OK. Once you've done that, we're looking for the DNS client, we're going on the DNS server, and make sure they're all on automatic. Now once we go to turn it back on, it should remain on. So if we clicked it there, we went back, it's back off, so we have missed one step. So we go back to the task manager, we go back to the setting, the services, we look for file discovery, it's on automatic. Sorry, function discovery is on automatic. Turn it back on, save changes. Go back to the network and you see this folder is empty, this PC, properties, the domain brendan.com. Right, so now we're going to click start and we're going to the Windows administrative tools and click the Active Directory users and computers. From here, this menu will open. As you can see, we have our domain there. And we're going to click it. We're going into computers. As you can see, Brendan's PC is there, which is the client computer. You go on properties, you go to delegation, and we're going to trust this computer for delegation to any service, which is the second option. Once you've done that, you press apply, then press OK. And there you go. And now we are going back to the task manager because we have a lot more services to enable. And you go to the services, we go to open services, and we are going to look for function discovery, resource properties, and make sure it's on automatic. Press apply, start. Once it's started, you press OK. Then we're going to look for then we go back to the client side, we go to services, open services, and then we look for the file discovery resource publication properties. Make sure it's an automatic. Apply, start, press OK, and we can exit this. Now if you go into the file manager network, you can start to see the server PC and your local client PC is there showing up. Now if you go back to the whoopsie daisy, I made a mistake there. Once you go back to the server side of stuff and you click on network, you would see the client PC and the server PC in the network section. So that will be all for this episode on how to set up the Windows Server 2019 as an Active Directory domain service and setting up the trust. Hope you guys enjoyed. For the next video that I'll be doing, I'll be showing you how to create user accounts and roaming profiles.